Tommy Mason, Sonny Randall, Willie Davis, Tucker Fredrickson, Roger Brown, Paul Krause, John Unitas, Bob Lilly, David Jones, Gary Ballman, Gale Sayers, Pete Retzlaff, Dave Parks, Jim Brown. These are brave men, men of courage and loyalty, distilled in the crucible of fierce competition and found superior in the gauntlet of champions, the National Football League. In 1965, the Cleveland Browns swept to their second successive Eastern Conference championship, and Jim Brown continues as the driving force behind the Cleveland machine. Brown, the superhuman fullback, led the NFL in rushing for the 8th time in his brilliant 9-year career. This 67-yard sortie was the longest run of the season from scrimmage. A Cleveland specialty, the post-pattern pass from Frank Ryan to Gary Collins helps beat the Redskins. The very same play helps Cleveland subdue Philadelphia. In the championship game, Ryan and Collins alter the pattern, but the results are the same. A touchdown for Gary Collins, Cleveland's leading receiver. Ryan's longest completion goes for 80 yards to Walter the Flea Roberts. Roberts, the smallest player in the league, was a big factor in minimizing the loss of Paul Warfield. Cleveland was the league leader in punt returns, and the individual leader was Leroy Kelly. Kelly gallops through the Cowboys on a 67-yard return. Under Coach Blanton Collier, the Browns are still the Eastern Conference kings. The maturing Cowboys tied for second in the East, their highest finish in history. Defense is the Dallas sport, and Bob Lilly is the trail boss of the Cowboy front four. The arrow pinpoints Lilly, who uses every ounce of his 255 pounds and every inch of his 6'5" frame to nip a New York pass in the bud. The Cardinals pose a scoring threat, but Mel Renfro snatches this pass away from Jackie Smith. There is no stopping the galloping Cowboy defender as Renfro strides out on a 90-yard touchdown return. Against San Francisco, Warren Livingston bushwhacks Ken Willard. Chuck Howley snaps up the loose ball as the defense sets a fast pace in helping the Cowboys post the East's only interconference victory of the 1965 season. In the opening game of the year, Cowboy passer Don Meredith draws a bead on Bob Hayes, and the Giants discover that the rookie receiver is really the world's fastest runner. Against Philadelphia, Meredith makes more use of the sure hands and flying feet of Bob Hayes. Hayes had the league's highest average gain per pass, and he's a strong reason why the Cowboys are coming. The New York Giants must be hailed as the surprise team of the NFL. Coach Allie Sherman led them into a second-place tie in the East. Sherman acquired quarterback Earl Morrow, who put spark back in the passing attack. Newcomer Morrow teams with veteran receiver Del Schaffner for big yardage against the Steelers. Against St. Louis, Morrow calls on another experienced hand, Joe Morrison, and New York rings up a touchdown. Philadelphia falls victim to New York's newfound overhead artillery. Morrow goes to still another proven veteran, Aaron Thomas. The play covers 71 yards, and it's one of 22 touchdown passes thrown by Earl Morrow. In the same Philadelphia game for an 89-yard touchdown. A passing attack is only effective when blended with a running game. The Baby Bulls gave New York this much-needed balance. That's one of them, Steve Thurlow, stinging the Steelers for 45 yards. The siege gun in the giant battery is Tucker Fredrickson, the rock-hard rookie who was the league's top draft choice and went on to become New York's top ground gainer. Fredrickson parades his raw power to the St. Louis Cardinals, a power which heralds a return to glory for the New York Giants. A strong finish by the Redskins augurs heap big trouble for Eastern Conference opponents. Injuries impaired the Redskins' best rusher, Charlie Taylor. When Taylor recovered, he displayed the running form that made him 64's Rookie of the Year. Redskin Razzle Dazzle features Charlie Taylor and foils the New York Giants. On the halfback option, Taylor takes aim on Washington's #1 receiver, Bobby Mitchell. Mitchell steals the ball from Spider Lockhart, proving again that the hand is quicker than the eye. Sonny Jurgensen overcame a 21-point Dallas lead with picture book passing. Taylor snares this one to rally Washington to victory. The Redskins posted the league's second-best defensive record. Joe Rutkins, number 72, is the strong man in Washington's front four. Linebacker Sam Huff is the keystone of the stingy Redskin defense. The red dogging Huff's bite is as loud as his bark. No NFL team intercepted more passes than Washington, and for the second straight season, All-Pro safety Paul Krause, with 6 interceptions, was the team leader. The Redskins signed Ricky Harris as a free agent on the recommendation of Charlie Taylor, who played against him in college. A 180-pound scatback from Arizona, Harris was one of the league's best punt return specialists. Washington will have a new coach in Otto Graham, and in D.C., there is an air of optimism. Philadelphia featured the strongest offense in the East and the second best in the NFL. Halfback Tim Brown's average gain of 5.4 yards was the highest in the league. And in this game against Cleveland, Brown rushed for 186 yards, the best performance of the season. The spotlight camera picks up Timmy running a long pass pattern. Brown was the only NFL player to rate among the top 10 in both rushing and receiving. Brown's running mate, fullback Earl Grove, gives the Eagles plenty of inside punch. With this running power, Philadelphia scored 363 points. No Eastern team outscored the Eagles. In the Pro Bowl, we see the man who clears the track for the Philadelphia runners, All-Pro tackle Bob Brown. Watch Brown eradicate the entire Western front four with one big block. Quarterback Norman Snead earned a spot in the Pro Bowl, while his favorite receiver, Pete Retzloff, won All-Pro honors. Retzloff, a 12-year NFL veteran, had his greatest season. This 78-yard reception is the longest of the Baron's illustrious career. The Snead to Retzloff combo is at its best on this play, as Pete's outstanding individual effort rewards the Eagles with 6 points. At Pittsburgh, a record 11 interceptions were made, with the Eagles picking off 9 of them. That's Maxie Baughan with this one, scoring the first touchdown of his career. No doubt about it, the Eagles can score. The high point of the St. Louis season came in Cleveland, where the crack Cardinals secondary picked off 6 forward passes. Jim Burson highlights the hijacking, and his long return sets up a touchdown. Following this Charlie Johnson to Bobby Joe Conrad pass, Cleveland's frustration is summed up by defensive back Bernie Parry. At this stage of the season, Johnson was healthy, and this 72-yard pass to Sonny Randall helped St. Louis thrash the Eastern champions 49-13. St. Louis trails the Steelers with only seconds to play, but Charlie Johnson deals the Cards a royal flush with a game-winning pass to Billy Gambrell. The big man among the Big Red rushers is number 38, Bill Triplett. Illness sidelined Triplett for the entire 64 season, but he returned stronger than ever in 65 to become the Cardinals' leading ground gainer with 617 yards to his credit. As the Cleveland Browns pass, watch Cardinal safety man Larry Wilson make St. Louis football history. Wilson returns an intercepted pass for a 96-yard touchdown, the longest of the NFL season. 66 will find the Cardinals playing in a new stadium under a new coach, whose name they hope will become their trademark. It's Charlie Winter. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a reputation for playing hard-hitting football. Defensive end Ben McGee informs the Cowboys' Don Meredith that this is more than a reputation, it's a fact. All the speed in the world is not enough to get sprinter Bob Hayes by Ben McGee. Trying to run around defensive end John Baker can be as useless as shoveling snow in a blizzard. New York's Errol Morrill is welcomed to Pitt Stadium by linebacker John Campbell. The Eagles' Timmy Brown attempts to turn the corner, but Campbell and Baker belt the ball free. Willie Daniel grabs it to tack up a touchdown for the defense. King Hill is the Philadelphia passer, but Pittsburgh's Jim Bradshaw is the receiver. Bradshaw intercepted 3 passes in this Steeler victory to be named NFL Defensive Player of the Week. In Gary Ballman, the Steelers have one of the most competent and versatile performers in football. Ballman doubled as a running back and a flanker. He was Pittsburgh's top receiver and earned a berth in the Pro Bowl. Young quarterback Bill Nelson combines with another all-around star. He's Clendon Thomas, who plays both defense and offense. The Browns find Thomas very offensive in this 80-yard touchdown. In 66, Pittsburgh hopes to initiate a winning era under its new coach, Bill Austin. There are 4 big reasons why Los Angeles led the league in defense against rushing. The first big reason is 260-pound end Lamar Lundy. The arrow points to the second big reason. He's 290 pounds of defensive tackle named Roosevelt Greer. The pointer indicates the third big reason. Merlin Olsen, who at 276 pounds is one of the fastest linemen on the Rams squad. The final big reason is David Jones, a 260-pound all-pro end who completes the famed fearsome foursome. Dick Bass, the fireplug fullback, was the Rams' top ground gainer, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Roman Gabriel gives the Rams one of football's fanciest faking quarterbacks. Gabriel's sleight of hand results in an easy score for Bass. But talk about faking. The Cardinals are still wondering how Eddie Metter hoodwinked them on this fake field goal. Gabriel's specialty, the play-action pass, clicks for 60 yards as rookie receiver Jack Snow blows by Baltimore for a touchdown. Against the Browns, Gabriel detonates a long bomb to Tommy McDonald, which helps destroy the Eastern champions 42-7. McDonald, a fiery flanker, is followed by our feature camera as he catches one of his 67 passes, the second best mark in the NFL. Next season, George Allen will debut as the Los Angeles coach, and Ram fans look forward to a title contender. In the NFL, defense is synonymous with the Detroit Lions. Alex Karras holds the spotlight, and his stunning tactics are too much for Baltimore's John Unitas. Redskins Sonny Jurgensen learns how the Lions led the league in defense when ambushed by Karras. Follow All-Pro tackle Roger Brown as he ties an NFL record by smashing Bart Starr in the end zone to score the third safety of his career. Jurgensen is anything but sunny as the Lion defense confounds him. Wayne Rasmussen is the tormentor, toting this interception to a 50-yard touchdown. Detroit's 26 interceptions was second high in the NFL. On kickoff returns, the Lions were league leaders, and they had the individual leader in Tommy Watkins. Watkins is a 5-year veteran from Iowa State, and Detroit fans are disappointed when he stopped anywhere short of the 50-yard line. This 94-yard return against the Bears was Tommy's best. In the closing seconds of the Minnesota game, the Lions trail the Vikings, but Milt Plum turns defeat into victory with a 49-yard completion to Amos Marsh. Marsh was Detroit's top rusher. That's Amos going 62 yards to help tie the Colts on the season's longest touchdown run from scrimmage. Add some offense to the best defense in football, and the Lions could win it all. When you think of the Vikings, you think of Francis Tarkenton. And when you think of Tarkenton, you think of scrambling. For there isn't a quarterback anywhere who can equal Frantic Fran in the art of the ad-lib run. Minnesota's ground attack was the second most productive in the NFL, with fullback Bill Boom Boom Brown stampeding the opposition for 699 yards. Tommy Mason is another member of the league's elite top 10 rushers. The combination of Brown through the inside and Mason to the outside makes coaches drool. The spotlight camera zeroes in on Paul Flatley, Minnesota's outstanding receiver. Last year, Flatley caught an even 50 passes while gaining 896 yards. Tarkenton finished 6th in the passing parade. His longest completion of the year goes 72 yards to Tommy Mason in the Vikings' big win at Cleveland. The stop-action camera highlights Ed Sherachman blocking a Los Angeles punt. Rookie Lonnie Warwick recovers and scores in a rousing 38-35 Viking victory. Carl Eller, number 81, is a 255-pound defensive end. Eller battles into the Detroit backfield to squash Milt Plum for a safety. Pass defense was Minnesota's Achilles heel, but in the season's finale, the secondary had its day as Rip Hawkins intercepts to beat the Bears. Give them some defense, and you can color the Vikings contenders. San Francisco produced the most explosive offense in professional football. In number 81, Dave Parks, the 49ers have the league's leading receiver. In his second pro season, Parks caught 80 passes and is definitely on the threshold of greatness. At Baltimore, John David Crow passes on the halfback option. The receiver, Dave Parks, and the play goes all the way. In this game, Parks caught 9 passes for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns. Parks had Colt fans comparing him with Raymond Burry. And in Baltimore, this is the supreme compliment. The acquisition of John David Crow fortified the 49ers with veteran experience and power. Add to this the rapid development of rookie Ken Willard, San Francisco's leading rusher, and you come up with a potent running game. The running game enhanced the effectiveness of John Brodie, who set a league record with 242 completions. Brodie's passes gained more than 3,000 yards, tops in the NFL. Brodie also led the league with 30 touchdown passes. He directed the 49ers out of the cellar to a strong 4th place finish. When you realize that San Francisco scored 105 more points than the world champion Packers, you get the picture of a team with a future. Some experts labeled the Chicago Bears the uncrowned kings of the NFL. If this is so, rookie linebacker Dick Butkus deserves much of the credit. But Butkus and the rest of George Halas's Bears must take second billing to the most phenomenal rookie to enter the league in ages. He's the Phantom Minnesota on a 96-yard kickoff return. Watch Sayers leave the Colts clutching nothing but air on this 61-yard dash from scrimmage, his longest of the year. Cleveland's Jim Brown was the only ball carrier to outgain Gale. Against San Francisco, Sayers was super. In this game, the Kansas Comet tied a league record by scoring 6. After 8 seasons as an understudy, Rudy Bukic won a starting job at quarterback and went on to become the league's #1 passer. One of Rudy's 20 TD passes is snared by Mike Ditka. Bukic joins forces with Johnny Morris, the Bears' leading receiver, on their longest play of the year, an 80-yard touchdown strike. In Chicago, the word is out. Beware of the Bear. The Baltimore season may be divided into 3 distinct eras. The first era features Johnny Unitas as the quarterback of a team which won 8 of its first 9 games. In the second era, Gary Quazzo replaces the injured Unitas and throws a club record, 5 touchdown passes. This one to Jimmy Orr to beat Minnesota. In the final era, halfback Tom Matty supplants the injured Gary Quazzo and pilots the Colts to a stunning victory in the playoff bowl. A healthy Unitas led the Colts to a win over the Bears at Wrigley Field with passes such as this to John Mackey. Unitas was injured in the second Bear game, and the Colts were shut out. Without their quarterbacks, the Colts had to rely on defense. They got plenty of it from All-Pro Bobby Boyd, who led the league in interceptions with 9. Veteran Lenny Moore picks up the Colt offense in the season finale to help rip the Rams and force a playoff with the Packers. The defense was magnificent in that famous showdown at Green Bay. Lenny Lyle's vicious tackle sets up an early touchdown by Don Shinnick. The Colts led the Packers for 58 minutes, and it took a sudden death overtime to beat them. As underdogs in the playoff bowl, Baltimore rallied behind Tom Matty and Jerry Hill to smack down the Dallas Cowboys by the amazing score of 35-3. In the playoff bowl, Matty earned the Most Valuable Player award, and the plucky Colts earned the admiration of fans the country over. After a 2-year dethronement, the Packers return as kings of professional football. Says Coach Vince Lombardi, you win championships with defense. And that's exactly how the Packers won their crown. Lombardi is a stern taskmaster. This is the type play he demands and gets from All-Pro defensive end Willie Davis. Linebacker Dave Robinson shows why Green Bay yielded fewer points than any team in the NFL. They shall not pass. That's the motto of Herb Adderley, Green Bay's All-Pro defensive back. This is true of the entire Green Bay secondary, best in the NFL. There's Adderley intercepting a Unitas pass and scoring in the first of the Packers' 3 vital victories over Baltimore. Packer precision on the power sweep is a coach's dream, especially with a guard like Jerry Kramer and a fullback named Jim Taylor. Against the Lions, Bart Starr was brilliant. In 1 quarter, he completed 7 of 8 passes for 225 yards